Mike, what is going on at Penn State?
What in the world, Starkey? Let me ask you that. What in the world? That's all I'm going to say.
I see this story last week. The McGloin's been named the starter. I sort of saw that coming, but I'm like, great. And then I love the Drake. The Drake is gone. You got to love the Drake.
The Drake is vapor. He's a ghost.
He's a wide receiver that he's brought in. He's brought big 33. He was a starting quarterback.
Yes,
do you remember this?
Oh,
so
yes, he was.
He's this athlete. They bring him in wide receiver, keeps breaking the leg, gets a couple fights, knocks out McGloin. McGloin probably had it coming. The guy's, but they move him to cornerback in the blue-white, and he's starting. The guy learns the position like a week, 3 weeks, whatever the spring game practices are, and he starts. And now he's gone. What happened?
Well,
you're working on it for a story.
Yeah, I'm working on it. Well, I mean, I don't know for sure what's happened, but he's gotten some kind of trouble, whether it's off the field, extracurricular stuff,
or
academic stuff. It could be either of those. And he's had a lot of physical problems, and it's a shame because I really thought he had a chance to be a Derek Williams type multi-purpose weapon on offense, and really a talented kid. And as it turned out, they were going to play him on defense anyway. But anyway, it was interesting because on Friday, they sent out an email and said, O'Brien's going to play in this charity golf tournament. Before he does, he's going to be available to you guys if you want to come up. Well, I'm not going to drive on a Friday, just But one of the local reporters showed up and asked him who's starting the quarterback, and he just told him, which I think
he thought, rest of you guys didn't get here. I'll give this college kid. I think it was one of the college kid reporter who writes for the
Collegian, yeah.
Right. Okay. I'll give this kid a break. This is a start.
And the interesting
one reporter there now.
You can't. I know people are tired of hearing about this, but the contrast between this and Joe Paterno, we wouldn't have heard who the starting quarterback was going to be until Thursday of the week of the Ohio game,
right?
With Joe Paterno, which is it's no big deal, and I don't think anybody is surprised because I think McGloin probably understands the offense and is a little bit more advanced in terms of experience and all that as everybody else. I think the interesting situation here going forward is that of Paul Jones. Who is now number 2 on the depth chart. Yeah. The depth chart came out today, by the way. So we're looking at the actual depth chart, and Rob Bolden really is buried. And this is another thing I want to try to snoop into this week. I mean, there's been rumors that he's not going to class, he's not around. I mean,
I've read that too.
We'll see.
A couple other ones. Stay on cornerback for a second. Duke was moved to cornerback. Drake was moved to cornerback. Who's going to start at cornerback now? This guy came off the street, not off the street, but they moved him to cornerback in the spring, and now he's not there. They must not have much depth there.
They don't have a lot of depth there, but the corners, I think, are okay. Stephon Morris, who is a senior, is a little dude, but an athlete, and he's a pretty good corner. And the other one is Adrian Amos, who's a sophomore who played a lot last year as a true freshman, and I think he has a chance to be a real good player.
Got to ask you, tight end, the local guy, Manham Central, with Dakota Royer. He moved from defensive end, linebacker type position to H-back, tight end. And where is he on the depth charts?
Well, they actually have 2 tight end positions listed here. It's the Y and the F. That's O'Brien's terminology. The Y is the big guy. If you think of Rob Gronkowski and the Patriots, and at that position, Gary Gilliam is the number 1 guy, 6'6", 277.
Whoa. From
the Milton Hershey School. He's a stud. The other one, the more like the Gonzalez position, more of a smaller guy who's more of a playmaker. Kyle Carter is the number 1 guy, and he's a guy who O'Brien has talked about quite a bit. I think he really likes him. And Royer is listed number 3 at that position.
They have a true freshman here. Jesse James? That was the guy who was married to Sandra Bullock, right?
That is correct.
Okay, has all the tattoos.
Correct. He's had a checkered past, but a lot of these guys have had checkered past. We were just talking about that with
married
Drake.
To Sandra Bullock. I like that checkers. Any other positions that jump out to you that we should be looking at as far as the depth charts?
Well, James is number 2 at the bigger tight end position. He's a huge kid. He's a guy who people talked about maybe converting to offensive line. Allen Robinson, the kid who had a pretty good blue-white game, who was not really in the picture last year, sophomore. Receiver. He's listed number 1 in one of the receivers one of the receiver spots, along with Shawnee Kersey. And so that's. And then Justin Brown at the other wide receiver, and then that third wide receiver spot, they have Devin Smith listed as number 1, who has had some issues and missed spring practice for that. So if you're thinking all these tight ends and wide receivers can't get on the field at the same time, well, they're probably not. But so we have lots of it's a little bit different it's a little bit different configuration of the depth chart under O'Brien.
Different configuration and influx there, but very clear at quarterback. And I think for the last 3 years we've not had that clarity. And it's like, okay, you know what? I'm going to name a 1, I'm going to name a 2, and name a 3, and they know where they are and they know what they have to do. That's what I'm getting from this. What do you? Why name it now? Is what I'm saying.
Well, I think one of the reasons is that probably O'Brien is not going to overthink it. You know, they asked him on Friday, we're going to release a depth chart on Tuesday. What the heck? I'm going to go play golf. I'll just talk to you guys for a couple minutes. You know what I mean? I don't think he overthought it at all. I just think McGloin again is a fifth-year senior. Probably more advanced in terms of understanding the offense. I think he's an intelligent, kid. The project there is Paul Jones and how much he emerges. And he's had academic problems. He's said to be past those. It'd be really interesting to see how he emerges because he's a big talent.